Meeting will come to order. Please join me for a flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Mr. Hastings, would you please call the roll?
Ready, can you hear us?
Here.
Mrs. Dan,
Here.
Mrs. Gilman,
Here.
Mrs. McGovern,
Here.
Mr. Schneider. Here. Mrs. Tallarico, Ms. Stevens,
Here.
Mrs. Tallarico,
Here.
Mr. McCarthy.
Here. All right. I will indulge myself in taking a president's report this evening. This early heat and the smell of fresh cut grass reminds me that soon we will see the Spartans charging Corelli Field on opening night. Students will be on the soccer pitch playing in the Maya Cup. We will see students in our hallways again soon. They will darken our doors and make loud our hallways. And that excites me. And the recency of our graduation from last year reminds me of one very important thing, that we focus on the main thing here in this district, and that is making Spartans who will leave a Spartan legacy. And that was evident in our graduations. And I love summer here at the Jersey Shore, and I know we all do too. And I know that our students do not want it to end, and some of our staff do not either. But I look forward to the opportunity to continue this constant cycle and to allow our staff and our administration to do what they do best, and that's to make Spartans. And I look forward to it. Thank you. Mrs. Weldon.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good evening, everyone. It's so wonderful to see so many of you here out this evening to honor and recognize some of our students and staff for their tremendous achievement. I'd like to invite up Ms. Kazuba and Mr. Todd to begin. I'm going to recognize a few outstanding achievements from late in our school year. There were so many wonderful things, Mr. McCarthy, as you were saying, in the late months of the school year, that we were not able to recognize everybody before June, before graduation. Okay, we are going to begin with Jillian Scotto. Jillian, come on up. Coach Pendleton and Coach Frankel, if you're here, please also come on up. Tonight, we honor Jillian for 100 career hits in softball, and she also tied the school record for single season runs scored. Congratulations, Jillian. I'd like to make your way over here and take a photo. Go ahead. Congratulations, Jillian. Next up, I'd like to invite up Miss Leah Starkey and Coach Lynch, Coach Looney, and Coach Deroney. If you're here, please come on up. We have had this student here before, but this Lady Spartan just keeps giving us reason to celebrate her achievements. She is the Meet of Champions winner in the 3200, an outstanding accomplishment. Congratulations, Leah. We're so proud of you. And she made that achievement as a freshman.
Oh my goodness.
Makes it even more outstanding. Congratulations. Okay, now I'd like to ask Mrs. Hagerman and Mr. Young to join Ms. Kazuba up here. We are going to recognize some of our Spartan School students. The New Jersey Department of Education provides awards in career and technical education. They call them the Career and Technical Education Scholar Awards. The 2026 awards recognize outstanding CTE students throughout New Jersey to highlight the importance of CTE in meeting the needs of business and industry for highly skilled and trained workers. I'm proud to announce that we have a number of 2026 Scholar Award recipients. When I call your name, please come forward. Joaquin Costa Pacheco, Kelsaris Diaz, Zoe Laser, Alexis Umar, and Rachel Walsh. Okay, and if those families are at home listening, congratulations to all of you. Let's take some pictures here this evening. Okay, shifting to some intermediate school achievements. If Mr. Amato would join us up front, please. Thank you. And also, if Miss Edson is here, please come on up, and Mr. Sullivan. Tonight, we are going to honor a number of our students from TOIS. They call themselves the Shade Makers. They have won 2 things. First place, they are first place winners in the 2025 Middle School New Jersey Student Climate Challenge. And they are also the winners of the Panasonic Eco Diary Challenge. I'd like to introduce our honorees this evening: Santosh Baxi, Emma Flanagan, and Isabel DeFiglia. Please come in. Congratulations, Spartans. We can make our way over here to the backdrop for a photo. Congratulations. Okay, is Miss Via here this evening? Okay, our Miss Palea? Do you have our other environmental contest certificate? She did not come this evening. Okay. I would like to just honor Chloe Augustin for also winning the Environmental Commission of Ocean Township, a recycling contest winner, public service announcement that she did on recycling plastic. And if you're listening online, congratulations, Chloe. Okay. So with this same group here, we are going to introduce another group from TOIS who won the Environmental Commission of Ocean Township's recycling contest in their public service announcement category. This group titled their contest Single-Use Plastics. Our honorees this evening for this achievement are Skylar Irvin, Oliver Wolf, Aiden Collins, Connor Schaefer-Riley, and Kyle Blake. Congratulations, Spartans. And we can take a photo over here. Come on up. You can take photos. You don't be shy. Congratulations, Spartans. These are all tremendous achievements by our students. We thank you for all that you do to maintain our excellent school district. You are certainly on your way to creating your legacies. Congratulations, students. For the next portion of our recognition, I'd like to honor some key staff members. First, I'd like to introduce, and Mr. Amato, I think you'll stay up here for this. I'd like to introduce, and Mr. Sullivan, if you'd like to also come on up, and if anyone else is here, I'd like to recognize Mrs. Dr. Angelica D. Philippus, who did just complete her doctorate. Congratulations, Dr. D. Philippus. Reaching the highest level of education in our field is quite an honor. Congratulations. Let's take a photo together. Okay. For this next honor, we actually need all of our principals. If you could join us up here. Every year, as an administrative team, we look for new and innovative ways to recognize the outstanding work of our staff. We came across a recognition put on by the New Jersey School Boards Association called the Unsung Superheroes in Education Award. The district participated in this award this year by nominating 5 outstanding staff members for this honor. This program celebrates the invaluable contributions of school district staff in categories such as coach, club advisor, bus driver, aide, custodian, maintenance, buildings and grounds, crossing guard, secretary, administrative assistant, and technology professional. These individuals work tirelessly behind the scenes, often without recognition or thanks, to ensure that our schools run smoothly and provide a safe and nurturing environment for our students. These honorees are this year's superheroes. Join me in thanking them for their amazing work that they do every day. First up, from Ocean Township Elementary School, Mrs. Susan DeLoyan. Wanamaxa Elementary School, Mrs. Tracy Gatta. From Wayside Elementary School, Mr. Chris Van Wagner. Intermediate School, Mrs. Anna Varga. And from high school, Mr. Craig Matthews. Congratulations to our unsung heroes. Please, let's take a photo together. Yeah, right over here. Congratulations. Families, you're welcome to come forward and take a photo.
Been working there for a while.
I gotta leave it up. Congratulations again. Outstanding work. Mr. President, that concludes my report.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Weldon. You are more than welcome to stay here for the remainder of the meeting tonight while we conduct board business. But if any of you desire to leave now that recognitions are complete, now would be the time.
Congratulations. We gotta connect. Connect, yes. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Are you? No, I got that for training. What time are you gonna occur?
We're starting at 7:30.
We were email second floor, but.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks.
Yes. It's been on. What is it gonna be?
Wherever you're comfortable.
Mr. Hastings, would you now conduct your school business administrator's report?
Thank you, Mr. President. I have nothing additional from upstairs report.
Thank you. Public comment on any item. The Board of Education recognizes the value of public comment on educational issues and the importance of allowing members of the public to express themselves on school matters of community interest. Public comment is not a question and answer session. Specific questions can be directed to the administration. The superintendent's contact information is to the left of the microphone. It's also available on the district website. We encourage you to contact her with any questions that you may have. Public participation shall be governed by the following rules. Each statement made by a participant shall be limited to 5 minutes in duration. No participant may speak more than once on the same topic until all others who wish to speak on that topic have been heard. The presiding officer may request any person to leave the meeting when that person does not observe reasonable decorum. Would anyone from the public like to comment on any item at this time?
Yes, sir.
Please come up to the microphone.
So it's really nice to see some familiar faces here, by the way, and some new faces. Good evening, board members. Thank you for the opportunity to speak tonight. Before I begin, I'd like to ask each and every one of you to pause for a moment and think back to someone who shaped your life. Maybe it was a teacher who challenged you to rise above what you thought you could be. Maybe it was a coach who demanded your best, or a mentor whose guidance still echoes in your decisions today. I want you to hold that person in your mind. Now I ask you to think about this. What does Spartan legacy mean to you? What does it mean to be part of a tradition rooted in pride, perseverance, and purpose? In Ocean Township, being a Spartan has always meant more than playing the sport or wearing school colors. It has meant upholding a legacy of strength, unity, respect, and relentless effort. I come before you as someone deeply connected to the Township of Ocean, a place deeply rooted in tradition, integrity, and the pursuit of excellence. All values that one man in particular has exemplified over the course of decades, Coach George Conte Jr. Coach Conte has been more than a football coach. He has been a fixture in our town's identity, a symbol of what it means to lead, to serve, and to inspire. His presence has left an indelible mark on Ocean Township, far beyond the game of football. He has helped shape the character of this community through his tireless commitment to its youth and through the culture he built. Hard work, discipline, respect, perseverance, and pride were cornerstones of what it meant to wear the color red. Coach Conte instilled in his players a sense of responsibility to themselves, to their teammates, to their school, and to the community. For many young men, he was the first person who demanded not just athletic performance, but integrity. He made it clear that success was measured not by the scoreboard, but by how you carried yourself in the face of adversity. He taught lessons that extended well beyond the football field, lessons about resilience, accountability, personal growth. These lessons were not just applicable to the game of football, but to a much bigger game, the game of life. His influence spans generations. Students he coached decades ago have become community leaders, parents, coaches, and mentors themselves, carrying with them the lessons learned under his guidance. Even those who never played a down of football knew the standard that Coach Connie set. He raised the bar not just for athletes, but for the entire school district and by extension, the entire town. One of the most powerful symbols of that legacy was always Corelli Field, a place Coach Connie revered deeply. In his weekly Big Red reports, he referred to it consistently and lovingly as our beloved Corelli Field. It wasn't just a place to play. It was a place to honor tradition, to respect those who came before, and to understand that being part of this community meant something. Coach Connie made sure every player knew that. George Conti Jr. Big Red Spartan Stadium. It's not just a name. It's a declaration of values. It tells every player, every parent, every student, every visitor that they're in a place built on sacrifice, on pride, on tradition, and on community. That is Spartan legacy. It reminds us that greatness isn't about personal glory. It's about what you give to others. That's what Coach Connie taught. That's what the stadium should represent. That is what makes this moment so meaningful. This proposal is not about naming a stadium after a man for his own recognition. In fact, Coach Connie never asked for anything to be named after him. Not a field, not a locker room, not even a plaque. What we're asking for is to name the stadium not simply for George Connie Jr., but for everything he stood for. This honor is not about elevating one man. It's about elevating the Spartan legacy for what he devoted his life to building in Ocean Township. It's about preserving and passing on that standard to future generations, just as he did. Thank you for your consideration in this tribute, not only to a coach, but to a way of life that has shaped our township for decades. Respectfully submitted, Dr. Manoli Matalakakis. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Matalakakis. Do I have any other members of the public who wish to comment at this time?
Hello, everyone. My name is John Leese, and Manoli and I are good friends and had discussed coming here and talking about Coach Connie with you all. And I just thought I'd bring a little personal experience. I second everything that he just said there. The man had a huge impact on so many young men, including myself. I happen to be one of the players that was there his first year. When Coach showed up, I was playing soccer, and he recruited me and brought me out to the football field and changed my life in more ways than I can even stand here and explain and express to everyone. I reached out to some of my teammates before I came here, and I just asked them to write a quick little blurb that I could read to all of you before I read mine, and several of them got back to me. I'm just going to read 3 of them. Coach Connie taught me that I can dig deeper and keep going a lot longer than I knew. It's a lesson I've benefited from many times over. That was from Darren Platt. I used Coach Connie's life lessons to conquer some of life's toughest detours, especially when my wife was losing the battle with cancer, but we beat it. That was Kevin Netterman. TJ Bellissimo was a teammate of mine, and after we beat Long Branch in the B North Championship our first year playing, he was in a horrible car accident, and he was in a coma and ended up slightly paralyzed and has had struggles from that incident throughout his life. And this is what he had to say. Coach Connie taught me how to be a man, had to wake up and put my pants on and fight every day. I'm going through the toughest time in my life right now, losing my son, and I just reflect on my Big Red days, and I have the strength. I love you, Coach Connie. You were always there for me. I love all you guys at the Big Red table. Big Red, live forever, TJ Bellissimo. My personal story with Coach, I'm not going to get too deep into it, but I was a very, very, very insecure young man, had a lot of fear. And to get out onto the football field was extremely intimidating. And like Manoli just expressed in his words, were, you know, how much he drew out of us and molded us into men. We were boys. I was a very meek little boy, and he helped me to become the man that I eventually became. Took a long time. I went through a lot of struggles in my life, but always went back to Coach Connie and his lessons of being tough and being, you know, to persevere and to overcome and to just keep on climbing that mountain. And I went on to play college football and a little bit of professional football. And I had 6 coaches over those years. And not one of them, if I had a chart, Coach would be way, way, way up at the top. And the next guy would be somewhere down here. That's the type of influence that he had on me. And I'm speaking for so many of my teammates that I have shared all of these same accolades that Manoli shared. They all say the same thing. And the reason why I want Coach Connie's name somewhere, could be a stadium, could be, you know, a big statue of some sort, of the breast, whatever, just because of what he represents. And when I went to, when he came to Ocean Township, we were not a very good football team. I think we won 4 or 5 games in 3 or 4 years, something like that. And that first year, just watching the guy come in and just paint the town red, and he changed the whole environment. He had a prep rally, and we went from, I was sitting in the stands as a freshman and a sophomore. I went to the football games. There was 100, 200 people there, parents, the band. First game under the lights, he put in the lights. There's 5,000 people there. I don't know how he did it. I still don't know how he did it, but he had such a passion for Ocean Township, and he dedicated his life to it. And he went above and beyond, and so many things that it's not about wins and losses. It went so far beyond that. One small example, my father wasn't a part of my life, and Coach took me in and guided me, and he actually drove me to visit colleges and brought me to the school that I ended up choosing to go to. That's the type of guy that he was. So he's in my heart and in the back of my mind, in the front of my mind sometimes, all the time when I go through hard times in life. And like I read in those 3 little messages, that's the type of man that he is. And I think that he deserves to be honored. And that's why I came here tonight to share that with you guys. So
Thank you,
thanks,
Mr. Neese.
thanks for listening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Go for it.
So my name's Stephen Brown. Was born and raised in Ocean Township, 25 Frederick Drive, right next to Iliano's. Great place to eat, right? Played ball with these people. No, Gina, by another name, past then. But I was also on that first team. I was a senior. John and I played together. I was a captain, one of the captains that year. And just to echo a couple of the things that he had said, I don't think we won 4 or 5 games before. When I was a freshman, sophomore, junior, I think maybe we won 3 games. And on the average, we lost 50 to maybe a touchdown if you were lucky with a couple of minutes left. To John's point, I don't think it's all about winning and losing, but culturally speaking, there was a malaise going over Ocean Township at the time, and it wasn't a really fun place to be showing up at events. And I think one of the things, and I'm going to speak on different things because I don't want to repeat what a great coach Coach Connie is, but I think at the time, the 2 things that he really influenced was kids and community. And we'll all have our story. My story is I had a single parent and I was not going to be able to afford college, and I was headed another path unless I got a scholarship. And with leadership, with that team, I was able to get a full ride to a college. I would not have been able to lift up. I think everyone here understands that higher education lifts people out of poverty and their situations. For me, I was one of those. And I tell my son that story on a pretty regular basis. And Coach Connie was involved in that process. And it's really about the opportunities that were provided to all the kids. And then community. I mean, really, the reality is that Fridays became a place to go where you saw your neighbors, where your parents went together. And that was a really great experience. I look back and I'm a little bit of a historian. I think we started Ocean Township in the mid-60s. And from my perspective, there is no other coach that has a greater impact across Ocean Township and all of our sports for George Conti. I'd like to see the field renamed, but I think if there's other things that we could do. He was an inspiration to me. He was a father figure as well to many people. And I could guarantee you if we put this on formally, we'll be out the door with people ready to come in and tell their stories. The last thing I would just say was I was involved in public service for about 10 years. I was on your side of the meetings, and I know it's difficult to do big things, right? I mean, this is not an easy thing. You start going of all the why you can't do it. There's another name and all those things. But what I would leave you with is in a day and age where what's going on a federal level is so. It's really not an lifting experience. It's a local government that has the opportunity to really lift and bring towns together. And I think these are the type of things are sometimes not easy to do, but I think this is a thing to do. This is an opportunity to really, lift up the community, honor what I think is a hero, and really bring the community together. You can go back and say all the reasons why not, or we can say how. There is another name. There's obviously it's Corelli Field now, but I've been involved in renaming. It's very, very popular these days. And I did a little history. Mr. Corelli has a son and a daughter, and we could reach out to them and make sure that they're involved in the process. There's other ways to do things where we lift everyone up. But I really encourage you guys, this would be a real lift to this community. And it's not an easy thing, but nothing, as my coach once told me, nothing that's different, nothing that's really meaningful is very easy. So I encourage us to hopefully take this on and find a way to honor Coach Connie. Thank you.
What was your name again, sir?
Stephen Brown.
Thank you, Mr. Brown, for your comments. Any other members of the public who wish to comment at this time? Says, please.
Good evening, board. My name is Telly Kazadakis. Be a little shorter than these guys. So I went to Ocean and graduated from Ocean. I didn't even go to school inside the school. I was in the trailers outside of the school. Just echoing the things that these guys had said about Coach Conti. I've never used two words to describe a person that were kind of more odd, and it's the fear and respect. As a young man, growing up with learning disability, never thinking I was really good enough, but on that field was different. I was treated different. I was not only uplifted, but broken down to be uplifted. I just have that Spartan legacy. I wear it proudly with my helmet and my shield on both of my hands. Being Greek also as a background, that also helps as well. But it was just going through those times in high school where you're not really sure where you fit in the whole process of the high school. With Coach Conti, it was different. He was one way on the field, but just off the field, just to be walking outside and just get this big arm, over top of you, Kazadakis, how are you doing? And I knew that was a genuine, how are you doing? So just again, in echoing what the gentleman has said, as a business owner here, in town, obviously never going to college and barely probably graduating high school, to be a business owner in town, I've instilled a lot of the things that I learned from Coach Conti, and that's that perseverance. That's that not giving up. That's that, yes, I may be down in situations, but I knew how to get back up. And again, going back to that, it's not about the wins and losses. It's about how you persevere when you're down to be able to lift yourself back up. And that's one of the things that echoes in my mind all the time, even throughout business, is I go back to that time when I'm feeling like, man, I really failed at this, whether it was a business decision that I made or even a family decision that I made as a father. At 51 years old, I still find myself going back to over 30 years of something that a gentleman that instilled in us as boys. I mean, we were boys that somehow turned us into young men and then athletes. So I would love to see some type of a name, be given to Coach just to honor him and thank him. Thank you very much, Board. I appreciate your time.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you.
Kostakis. Appreciate it. Any other members of the public who would like to comment on anything at this time?
Board, thank you for the opportunity. I'm Dr. Scott Larkin. I'm the superintendent at New Hanover Township School District. I come to you tonight as part of the Big Red alumni, and so much of what I have prepared in my head has been said already. Talk about the effect on us individually, talk about the effect on the community. I suppose I have a unique vantage point on this. I thank you. I know that July should be pretty quick. New Hanover Township's meeting was 6 minutes tonight. So I was lucky enough to grow up with the front row seat to what I would argue is the golden age of Ocean Township. On down Deal Road at Town Hall, folks with the names like Riley and Weldon and Larkin and DeSarno and Greenspan did things that we see today that were absolutely magnificent and stunning, right? The crown jewel of Ocean Township has always been Ocean Township School District. And I've been a student, a teacher, the head varsity football coach, an advisor, a parent, all kinds of different things, and alumni. And in my time, gosh, I was, people ask me all the time, were my parents educators? I tell them no, but the people who raised me were. Folks like, names like Sawbull and Mr. Frankel, who was here. Now, the reason I became a history teacher, and Mr. Cole, and Miss Baxter, and Mr. Lordy, all of these incredible people, Mr. Gino, Mr. Sawbull, I could name you every single teacher that I've ever had. The reason why I am here today, I worked with incredible teachers, folks like with the names like Wankmuller and Gilman and Weldon, colleagues of mine whose students will come up here and tell you the exact same things about them. So to do something like this, to single one person out is difficult. And again, from where I sit, I understand the gravity of what we are asking for. I recognize that this district has recognized Coach Conti for winning football games. And were this just about recognition over football games, I wouldn't be a part of this. I think we have an opportunity to do something bigger. And I would also in some ways blame Ms. Weldon for this. Because what I've heard a lot of from our group here is Spartan Legacy. And we didn't know that existed. We knew Big Red and Coach Conti and all of those things and all the ethos that came with Big Red. But then when we started to hear about Spartan Legacy, this is our Spartan Legacy. As a guy who served as the varsity football coach, I'm sure the question will come up, well, what about the other coaches? Geez, this is a guy that I learned from. What about the other people that were involved in those towns, all those special people in my life? I have to tell you, Coach Conti was different. It wasn't just the school, it wasn't just the town. You could drive down Route 35 and see Go Big Red on Jack Cooper's sign. You could go into Casey's and order the George Conti sandwich. I've never had a sandwich. I mean, this guy had a sandwich. So again, I thank you for your consideration of this. I've been spending the last couple of minutes looking at the back of my head on the screen. It is awful. I wish I was sitting up there with you so that you could just see my face. But again, I thank you all. And again, I reiterate what you hear from us is an outgrowth of what you're continuing. And that is our Spartan legacy. Thank you everyone for your time.
Thank you, Dr. Larkin. Any other members of the public who would like to comment on anything at this time?
Those are tough words to follow. As a song. No. Alex Hayes, Oakhurst. One of the few people in this room that didn't go to Ocean Township High School or grow up in these schools. But I think it's pretty amazing to see what showed up here tonight and the sentiments that these gentlemen offered up to you, and the legacy and the memories that are incredible in South Cook County. You all can do big things. You can. You can explore this idea. Maybe even direct folks to kind of look into what it would take to make it happen. I think it's something that the community could really get behind as a big community unifier, and I think it's a wonderful thing. Switching gears, here are some of my comments and questions about the agenda. I'm still baffled why we can't make the enrollment numbers every month public. I don't know why they're secretive and they're hidden behind private agenda. The monthly battle I bring up every month. Lunch costs going up 25 cents. Thank you, Mr. Hastings, for explaining that we didn't do it 2 years before. But I would like to remind you all that these are tough economic times, and I think I did the math correctly. That's over a 6.3 or about 6.3% increase. That's way more than the cost of standard living increase. And you're trying to pass that on to parents. I don't know if that's going to go over well. So my question is, how are you going to socialize this to families, this increase in lunches? I know every year we do the athletic trainers, we get like the extra on board so that we have extra staff. I'm just curious why we picked one of the two groups from a Florida LLC whose headquarters are in Atlanta, Georgia. I don't know why we can't find a local athletic training company with possibly born and raised on the county companies that could come in and be athletic trainers. Mind boggling. The e-bikes. Oh, is that one of you? No, if only, okay. That's awesome. I did not know that. The e-bikes from discussion from last month, it sounded like, you guys banned it last month, but today it sounds like what's on the agenda is, people can still ride their e-bikes to school, like for example, the high school. My son relies on his e-bike to get to school. He does not take the bus. But he just like, they can no longer cut through, where the stadium is and go on the grass. So I hope I'm reading that correctly, because it's still not a ban in town. It's only a ban in Balea Park. So that's how I read that policy. If that's different, maybe you all could explain it to me. My sixth question. We are giving $600,000 to 5 religious schools in town. That's up from last year. That's really staggering. That our public funds are being used for private religious schools. And I know part of it is funded by the feds and the state, but what your numbers don't show is how many students that's actually affecting. Like one small school is getting 80 grand. Is that 10 kids, 100 kids? I don't know. It would be nice if some of those numbers were made public, so that's a question. I still don't understand. I think I brought this up last meeting, maybe I thought it in my head, but why we're paying Asbury Park School District $90,000 for one student, and obviously it's because there's some kind of special need that this school in Asbury provides, but I'm just curious if we have looked into creating our own position that $90,000 for let to keep that here in district. So we don't have to send them out and pay $90,000. I think that's it, except for, I'm just gonna go back to the Pop Warner use, field use that I brought in earlier at the 7 meeting. I really intrigued and ask you all to consider your own policies, which state as of July 1st. You are supposed to give facility usage to first come, first serve. There's a new free youth football program in town. Been brought to my attention, they're not asking for 4, 5, or 6, like I brought up earlier, they're asking for 4 dates. 4 dates. if you can give other youth groups 127 dates for pennies, why can't you grant a free youth football program for dates usage of our fields? I hope you rule in their favor for the facilities usage one. Thanks.
Thank you, Mrs. Hayes. Any other members of the public who would like to make a comment on anything at this time? Thank you. Mrs. Conway, do we have anyone in the queue who would like to comment on anything at this time?
Yes, we do, Mr. President. We have Neil Solomon. Please go ahead.
Go ahead.
Thank you. My name's Neil Solomon. I graduated Ocean Township High School in 1988. And Manoli, I see you turning around and say, get comfortable, guys. This is going to be a long one, but it's not. Because quite frankly, you did a fantastic job of summing up everything that needs to be said. Steve, John, Telly, Scott, great job as well. There are just a few things that I think I would like to add though. As opposed to John, who played pro, or Steve that played college, or Manoli was a captain, I was 5'0" and weighed 100 and nothing pounds. And I played Big Red football. And it took 3 years of challenges and fighting through adversity before my senior year, I finally had the opportunity to actually wear that helmet and wear that uniform proudly and get out on the field. That lesson has been spoken to already, speaks to the lessons of fighting through adversity when you really want something that you can achieve and you can go after your dreams and you can be a part of something, and the importance of being a part of something that is bigger than yourself. That to a large degree has been covered, but I wanted to once again just say it. You didn't have to be a star to be a part of the program and to enjoy the love and the affection and the time and the commitment of Coach Connie and his staff. One thing that wasn't touched upon was the breadth of the legacy. Because everybody there, and I live in Miami. That's why I'm virtual. I've lived here for 33 years and things like this make me very homesick. That said, the legacy of George Conti continues not just in Ocean Township and not just in New Jersey, but it expands to where I am in Miami, to where people that I graduated with are out in California, across Texas, friends and family that have placed people in other areas of the country, people that have become teachers and coaches and community leaders and business leaders, and constantly are teaching the same lessons that made us into the men that we are today. I had the honor of coaching high school basketball for 5 years at the largest high school in the country down here in Weston, Florida. I was constantly referring to the lessons that I learned on the practice field and on our beloved Corelli field, on the boardwalk in the summers, sharing what it took to be a part of something bigger yourself and to have success. That we are now 3 generations deep in individuals who have had a positive impact. I have 5 children. I've coached each of them. My children are now approaching or into 30, they're being 30 years old. Their kids are getting raised. Kids that I coached in high school are now well into their 30s, and they are now coaching another generation. And nothing makes me prouder than when they call me and they say, Coach, I'm coaching and I'm teaching you the same things, teaching them the same things you taught us. It's not just on the fields that these lessons are learned. After an executive career, I now advise other executives and entrepreneurs. And I talk about the influence of my high school football coach, my high school football program so regularly, and I don't think there's video here, so I can't show it to you, but it's next to me, that one of my client CEOs bought me a Big Red high school football jersey, the name Solomon on the back. They went and found my number 4, Ocean Township Spartans. It meant a lot because back in that day, we had these little mesh jerseys and we had to turn them in at the end of the year. We couldn't keep them. The fact of the matter is the jersey's beautiful, but they bought me 2. And I opened the box and I was like, why are there 2 in here? And one was blue and one was red. And I said, guys, what's going on here? They're like, well, our buddy owns this company and it does high school memento football jerseys. You may have seen it. All the pros are getting their high school jerseys. It's become a big thing. And when he looked up Ocean Township High School, because we were telling him the story, it said that your colors are blue and white. So we bought a blue one for you But we knew you always talked about the big red, so we bought a red one just in case we couldn't figure it out. I think that says a lot about the flood of red that came into Ocean Township back in the 80s and has now continued for over 40 years. That legacy, that influence, that big red tradition that's now 40 years old, goes one step further. Last month, I got a call from a young man named Tyler Rossback. His dad, Doug Rossback, was about 4 years behind me. I didn't know him well, but I knew him. And Tyler, it seemed, had landed in Florida and was graduating and needed to get a job in the state of Florida, and actually was looking at Netflix as an opportunity that he saw in his space. Somebody up in Ocean Township still said, well, if you're in Florida, call Neil Solomon. Just tell him you're a part of the Big Red. He reached out to me via text. I sat down with him for a few Zoom calls. He told me he saw a job opportunity at Netflix. I called Spencer Newman, also class of 88, who you may or may not know is the CFO of Netflix. Spencer spent time with Tyler Rossback. That opportunity didn't work out. He got an interview. That opportunity didn't work out.
Mr. Stallman, I apologize, but I have a precedent that I've set for this board that I cut people off. I've given you an extra 30 seconds. I'm going to have to ask you to wrap your comments up here.
I will wrap it up. Last piece. Beloved Corelli Field at George Conti Stadium has a great ring to it. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Solomon. I appreciate it. Mrs. Conway, do we have anyone else in the queue?
No, Mr. President, there are no further commenters.
Thank you very much. With that, we'll move on to our agenda. Approval of minutes, Mr. Golden.
Yes, Mr. McCarthy, yeah, motion to approve item 5.1, approval of minutes from the July 15th executive session.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Hastings, would you please call the roll?
For item 5.1, Mr. Brady,
Yes.
Mr. Dalton,
Yes.
Mrs. Dam,
Yes.
Mrs. Gilman.
Yes.
Mrs. McGovern.
Yes.
Mr. Schneider,
Yes.
Ms. Stevens.
Yes.
Mrs. Talarico,
Abstain.
Mr. McCarthy.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Personnel, Mrs. McGovern.
Move to approve items 6.1 through 6.5. Can I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Hastings, would you please call the roll?
6.5, Brady,
Yes.
Yes.
Dam,
Yes.
Mrs. Gilman,
Yes.
Mrs. McGovern,
Yes.
Mr. Schneider,
Yes.
Ms. Stevens,
Yes.
Mrs. Talarico,
Yes.
Mr. McCarthy.
Yes. Financial Management and Resource Services, Mrs. Dam.
Move to approve items 7.1 through 7.16.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Hastings, would you call the roll?
7.1 through 7.16, Mr. Brady,
Yes.
Dalton,
Yes.
Mrs. Dam,
Yes.
Mrs. Gilman,
Yes.
Mrs. McGovern,
Yes.
Mr. Schneider,
Yes.
Ms. Stevens.
Yes.
Mrs. Talarico,
Yes.
Mr. McCarthy.
Yes.
Motion's carried.
Thank you. Instruction, Education, and Student Activities, Mr. Dalton.
Motion to approve items 8.1 through 8.3.
Second.
Mr. Hastings, would you call the roll?
8.1 through 8.3, Mr. Brady,
Yes.
Yes.
Mrs. Dam,
Yes.
Mrs. Gilman,
Yes to 8.1 and 8.3, abstain from 8.2.
thank you. Mrs. McGovern,
Yes.
Mr. Schneider,
Yes.
Ms. Stevens,
Yes.
Mrs. Talarico,
Yes.
Mr. McCarthy.
Yes. Policy, Mrs. Gilman.
Yes, President McCarthy. Move to approve the third reading and final revision of the following policies and or regulations. Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Hastings, would you call the roll?
Item 9.1, Mr. Brady,
Yes.
Dalton,
Yes.
Mrs. Dam,
Yes.
Mrs. Gilman,
Yes.
Mrs. McGovern,
Yes.
Mr. Schneider,
Yes.
Ms. Stevens,
Yes.
Mrs. Talarico,
Yes to all but R 7510.
and that's a no on that one.
That's a no, yes.
Thank you. And Mr. McCarthy,
Yes.
items carried.
Thank you, Mr. Hastings. Do I have any old business? Any old business from any members of the board? Do I have any new business from any members of the board? Any new business? Very well. May I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
This meeting is adjourned.